What does it take to get a record deal and successfully grow your music career? Your first answer might be something like, you have to be a great musician. And that's about the only thing most musicians think or talk about. In reality, no matter how great of a musician you are, there are thousands of musicians who have the same musical skills that you do. Because good musicians are easy to find, and because of other changes that occurred in the music industry over the last 30 years or so, you must have so much more to offer than merely good musical skills if you want a successful music career. Before you will even be considered for a record deal, you must prove to record companies that you possess a broad range of skills, character traits, and mental attitudes that they look for in musicians. All of that, of course, is in addition to having good musical skills. Since companies cannot simply rely on whatever you tell them about yourself, they will spend time investigating your background before deciding to work with you or not to work with you. Most of the time, you will be completely unaware that you are being observed in this way. But you can be sure that you are being observed and tested 100% of the time without exception. No serious company will put hundreds of thousands of dollars at risk without thoroughly researching their investments beforehand. To pass this music industry background check, you must first learn what it is that record companies actually look for in you. If you don't know how to do this, it will be impossible to ever live up to all the expectations that record companies have for you and want from you. When you know what these things are, it becomes so much easier to set yourself up for success by delivering those things to the music industry, making yourself the only logical choice for a record deal and any other music opportunities you wish to acquire. Here are the 22 things that record companies will look for in you. Number 1. How much freedom do you have to say yes? When a record company looks for musicians to work with, they want someone who has the ability to pursue any music career opportunities without hesitation. For example, if you get signed by a record label, you may need to go on tour for weeks or months at a time, or spend 10 to 12 hours per day every day in the studio for an entire month or so recording an album. Many musicians do not have the financial or situational freedom to do this. As soon as record companies sense that, they will take you off the list of potential musicians to work with. Fortunately, you can gradually phase your way out of a day job into a financially stable full-time music career so you can say yes to opportunities when they come up. To learn how to do this, click on the link in the description of this video labeled How to Leave Your Day Job and Do Music Full-Time. Number 2, have you released your own music? Before a record company will work with you, they want to see that you have taken some personal initiative to move your music career forward. One of the most obvious ways to demonstrate this is by releasing your own album, either independently or in a band or a group with other musicians. When a music company sees that you have already released a finished product of your own, they will consider you much more seriously as a potential partner. You can take the first step towards acquiring this credential by participating in a compilation album with other musicians. Such recordings are cheaper, faster, and easier to produce and help you to get experience needed to publish your own full-length music album. This is one of the things I help musicians to do in my Music Careers Mentoring Program in order to help them get their foot in the door of the music industry. Number 3. What is the recording quality of your music? Many musicians make the massive mistake of recording demo-quality music and releasing it to the public, promising for their next recording to become better. This screams amateur to record companies and everyone else. You don't have to invest tens of thousands of dollars into making your record. In fact, you can make great recordings with little money, but understand that there is a big and noticeable difference between good recordings done on a budget and sloppy or amateur recordings done in a half-assed way. Above all, remember that the music you put out is not just a demonstration of your songwriting talent, but also a display of your band's overall professionalism, something record companies watch closely for. Invest the time into learning how to make the highest quality recordings possible. Number 4, do you have good studio recording skills? To a record company, the recording quality of your music represents not only the overall image of you and your band, but also the amount of money they will need to spend on studio fees editing poorly recorded tracks, or bringing in studio musicians to re-record your parts. If you are unable to accurately and perfectly record your music in as few takes as possible, you will be seen as a much riskier investment to music companies. To turn this possible risk factor into an asset, you must actually practice recording to become good at it, in the same way you practice anything else on your instrument. Doing this regularly will set you apart from the other musicians who completely ignore this skill. Number 5. What is your work ethic like? Contrary to popular belief, becoming successful in the music industry does not happen overnight, nor does it happen by luck. It takes tons of consistent effort and hard work to achieve significant success in this business. In fact, the most successful musicians will put in incredible amounts of hard work in advance before they ever see any benefits from their efforts. This requires total passion, dedication, and commitment, something that most people simply do not have. Record companies will look for proof of your work ethic in every interaction they have with you. It's not enough for you to simply talk about being passionate or how music is the only thing you want to do in life. This doesn't impress anyone. There also isn't any one thing that you must do to demonstrate or to prove your work ethic. It's something that companies will get a general sense of by looking at your level of accomplishments in the other 21 items I talk about in this video. The lesson for you here is to become aware of the general importance of your work ethic and develop this capacity within yourself to the highest level possible. Number 6, how big is your fan base? You will immediately turn heads in the music industry by having a massive following of loyal fans who interact with you on a frequent basis. This means not only having a list of followers on social media websites, but also building up a huge database that you control with a list of names, emails, and other important information about your fans, so you can directly communicate with them through your own personal website whenever you want. Number 7, do you have a strong local presence in your area? Record companies are much more impressed by you having a strong following in your local area than they are about you having tens of thousands of contacts scattered around the world. There are 2 reasons why this is so. Number 1, starting up a loyal local following generally requires much more effort than building a list of contacts or fans on social media sites who live all around the world. This gives company a great impression of your work ethic. Number 2, it shows that you have a good understanding of how to promote your own gigs, tours, and drive product sales, and demonstrates your potential to add business value. Record companies know that when they invest additional resources into moving your career into new, non-local markets, it will be much easier for you to repeat the process you have already followed in your local area to become successful. To learn more about how to get fans in your local area, click on the link in the description of this video titled, How to Get More Music Fans. Number 8, how fanatical are your fans? It is a common misconception that having a lot of fans is the main key to building a successful, highly profitable career in the music industry. Although simply having fans is a good starting point to build from, you will not take your music career to the highest level by only having a large following full of casual fans. You must focus more of your time on converting your current fans into total fanatics who are highly enthusiastic about you, your music, and any projects you participate in. These are people who do things such as buy all your albums, wear your band's t-shirts, come to all your shows, tell all their friends about you, or even get tattoos of your band's logo on their chest. Record companies are well aware of the massive long-term profitability of a band who has a strong following of true fanatics. These companies will choose to work together with a band that has 1,000 truly fanatical fans over a band that has 10,000 casual fans every single time. Even if you do not have many fans at this point, begin focusing your efforts on transforming what fans you do have into complete fanatics to begin building a loyal, highly dedicated following that will serve as the foundation for your long-term success. Number 9, what is your experience with touring? Record companies make a lot of money from the tours their bands go on, but they also put huge amounts of money at risk in the process. The more experience you have touring and playing live, the more likely music companies will be to work with you and send you across the country or around the world to play for your fans. However, if you have little to no experience playing live, A record company may hesitate to sign you due to the potential risk and uncertainty you present in this area. You can turn the odds dramatically in your favor by getting music career mentoring to learn how to set yourself up for success in these avenues of the music business. Number 10. What is your worldview? Record companies exist in the world for one thing and one thing only: to make lots of money. Thus, they only invest resources into an artist or a band if they believe their investment will help them, the record company, make even more money in return. If you have worldviews that come into conflict with this, such as anti-capitalist, anti-business, or anti-wealth views, you will never be considered as their potential business partner. Such damaging views also include believing that you are entitled to success without earning it for yourself, or thinking that everyone else must fall in order for you to succeed. On the other hand, if you greatly value self-reliance, understand why money, business, wealth, and capitalism are great things, and are always looking for win-win business outcomes, your odds for being considered for a record deal go way up. Hint: contrary to what most people think about the music industry, even your political views can hurt you. How, you may ask? Your political views will tell record companies very quickly and easily what your general worldview and mindset is likely to be. If your worldview lowers their chance to make money on their investment in you, guess what? This hurts your chances of having that record company ever invest in your career. Number 11. Are you loyal? If a company believes for even 1 second that you may become disloyal, you will immediately be barred from any opportunities to work with them. The more loyal you are to those you work with, the less risk you offer in any kind of partnership, and the more people in the music industry will want to work with you. Similar to your work ethic, there isn't any one thing that defines your loyalty, but you can be sure that it is something record companies will definitely look for closely as they decide whether to work with you or not. Number 12. What is your reputation throughout the industry? Have you ever heard the saying, your reputation precedes you? In the context of the music business, this means that record companies will look at what others say about their experiences with working with you a lot closer than anything you tell them about yourself. This is why you must guard your reputation with your life by always seeking win-win outcomes, adding value to other people when you interact with them, and not burning bridges whenever possible. Number 13. What is the reputation of the people you have worked with? Even if you personally have a good reputation in the music industry, you can potentially sabotage any future career opportunities by associating with musicians who have established a poor reputation for themselves. When record companies look for new musicians to sign, they will avoid these types of musicians at all costs because they present a huge risk that is usually not worth the reward. This is why you must be very careful to only surround yourself with other positive, success-minded people. Number 14. Do you have strong relationships with other companies in the music business? Although record companies don't really care if you have a lot of endorsements, the fact that you are associated with a variety of other businesses generally speaks in your favor, demonstrating loyalty and potential to add business value to the companies you endorse. By itself, this element is of very minor importance, but when combined with other elements I listed throughout this video, it makes it easier for a record company to get more proof of your potential value to them if they sign you to a deal. Note, this can also work against you if you have a track record of being disloyal to other companies you've worked with in the past. Number 15. Do you have good musical skills? As you can see, your musical skills are only one item out of a long list of things record companies look for, but they are, of course, highly important. That being said, do not make the common mistake of thinking that you must develop your musical skills first before starting to develop the other areas of your music industry value. This is a crippling mistake for 2 reasons. First, there will never be a point when you are 100% happy and fulfilled with your musical skills. No matter how good of a musician you become, you will always want to become a little bit better than you are now. This desire to always become a little bit better is a mirage that you can never catch up to, resulting in your entire life going by without your music career dreams being realized. Second, even if you do get to a level of musical skills when you finally feel ready to work on the other elements of music career success, realize that after years of musical training, you still only have 1 out of 22 elements needed to qualify yourself for a deal. The solution is simple. You must work on your musical abilities and refine them to the highest level possible at the same time as you work on building the other pieces of your music career puzzle. Number 16. Do you have good performing skills? Merely being able to play your instrument well is only one part of the package when it comes to being a great musician and putting on a good show for your fans. Record companies are looking to sign musicians who are able to truly inspire their fans through their on-stage performance and get them to tell their friends about their experience. The more fanatical your fans become about seeing your live show, the better it is for your and the record company's bottom line. To get help with how to put on a great live show, click on the link in the description of this video to get my free stage presence tips. Number 17. What is your overall level of commitment to building your own music career? To make yourself into an appealing prospect for a record company, you must have a complete, all-consuming passion for becoming a highly successful musician. You must be willing to do whatever it takes for as long as it takes in order to make it in this business. This trait is similar to work ethic, but it is different in that it deals with your long-term determination to stay in the music business, rather than your general capacity to simply work hard. Although this quality is intangible, it can be easily sensed by paying attention to every action you take or don't take in the music industry, and music companies will instantly see this trait or lack of it in you. Number 18. Are you a success-minded person? There is no room in a successful record company's budget for musicians who have negative attitudes, pessimistic outlooks, and win-lose or lose-lose mindsets. To get signed with the record deal, you must be 100% success-minded, committed to finding positive value even in negative situations, and dedicated to building mutually beneficial business relationships with other musicians and the companies you work with. To learn how to develop this quality within yourself, go to the link in the description of this video called How Successful Musicians Build Their Careers. Number 19. Do you currently use drugs or have any records of legal issues? If you have been involved with major legal issues or have a history of drug use, your level of risk in the eyes of any company will go up exponentially, and it will likely kill your chances for any business opportunities being extended to you. Be smart. Don't sabotage your music career success by allowing easily avoidable vices to take control of your life and destroy your career. Number 20. What is your personality like? Working in the music business often involves putting yourself in many high-pressure situations. To maintain a successful music career for the long term, you will not only need to write, play, and record music, but do so quickly and accurately in as little time as possible. You'll need to tour for months on end and interact with a wide variety of people with conflicting personalities, all while under strict deadlines with many thousands of dollars at stake. If you are not mentally prepared to function well under this kind of pressure, record companies will quickly discover this and will hesitate to invest their money into your music career. Number 21. Are you taking consistent action to move your music career forward? Consistently working to advance your music career on an ongoing basis provides a significant demonstration of your work ethic, reliability, and commitment. When record companies see that you are actively trying to make things happen for yourself, it will positively influence their perception of you. In contrast, if a company sees you taking sporadic or random actions and not taking the ultimate responsibility for the outcome of your music career, this puts doubt in their mind about working with you. Number 22. Have you taken any steps to learn about the music business, or have you been doing everything through guesswork and trial and error? Record companies want to know that you are not only taking consistent action to reach your musical goals, but also taking steps to secure your success for a long-term flourishing career in music. The most obvious way you can show proof of this is by getting music career success training from a mentor who has already accomplished huge things in the music business, such as selling lots of records through record labels, touring the world, and having made big money as a musician. When record companies see that you have invested into your own music career growth, they are much more likely to work with you for two reasons. First, they will see that they don't need to invest additional tens of thousands of dollars into coaching you on how the music business works. Second, they will see that you possess ambition, commitment, and work ethic to grow your career. All things that companies look to get as much proof about as possible before deciding whether or not to work with you. Now that you understand what record companies are looking for in you, start taking action to develop these qualities that put you at the top of the list of musicians record companies want to work with. Do this, and you can achieve levels of success in the music industry that other musicians can only dream about. You don't need to be perfect in every area, but you do need to get moving forward right now. To learn how to build a highly successful music career for yourself, go to tomhess.net/musiccareer.aspx.